Hey everyone, welcome to Project Evolve 360. So for the year of 2014, starting in January, Mike, Joe Mascaretti of 3Sixty Athletics, and myself are going to be putting together a series of 365 videos that are going to be basically daily little tips or tricks to improve yourself. So at Evolutionary Health, we're all about evolving yourself. And we know that evolution is essentially change through a gradual series of improvements. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to try to give you daily tips and tricks to improve or evolve your life from all different angles. So that's why it's Project Evolve and 360 from all angles. So most of the videos I produce will probably be mostly nutrition stuff. I will do some training tips and things like that. Mike will probably do quite a bit of training things, probably a little bit more on the Olympic lifting side. Joe's a wizard of all things, so he'll be doing a whole bunch of stuff. So basically, we're just going to be bringing you videos that encompass everything that's health, fitness related, and we're just going to be bringing you short videos every day. So check us out. That's what we're going to be doing. So the very first one that we're going to start with is something quick and something easy and something nutrition related. One of the big questions that I get is about optimum post-workout nutrition and kind of how to measure and weigh things. So my personal philosophy is I don't really measure or weigh things, but that being said, I don't just eat whatever I want. I kind of have an idea in my head of, how much is in each food. I just don't weigh it out. But for people who are beginners or don't really have such a good sense of how much, how many grams of carbs are in this, how many grams of protein are in that, that's kind of one of the things we're going to talk about today. So one of my favorite post-workout carbohydrate sources is a sweet potato. It's, got a ton of glucose in it. It's got some starch as glucose, so there's some fast digesting, some slow digesting. It has a ton of vitamins and minerals, and it just tastes really good. So it's a really, really good post-workout carbohydrate source. Now, that being said, is you go to the store and all the sweet potatoes are different sizes. So if I grab a small one versus a large one, the amount of carbohydrate I get in it is totally different than a big one. So that's what we're going to talk about today is if you look up all the nutrition data, let's say you are kind of a nutrition head and you go out and you look at things, you'll notice that if you go to any website, it tells you there's about 20 to 23 grams of carbohydrate per 100 grams of sweet potato. Great, good information. What the heck do you do with it? Are you going to go home and pull out your food scale and weigh it? I don't really think that's a great idea for long term, just because it's kind of neurotic. So what I've kind of figured out is I know that if there's 20 to 23 grams of carbohydrate in 100 grams of sweet potato, that means there's about 100 grams of carbohydrate in a 1 pound sweet potato. So usually what I do is when I go to the store, I get potatoes and I weigh them, and I try to get ones that are anywhere between 60 and 70 grams of carbohydrates. So that's about 2/3 of a pound. So that way, right when I get home from a workout and I have one sweet potato, I can eat it and I know how much is in there. I don't have to weigh it. I don't have to cut off a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So that's what it is. So basically what I do is I do that. I go home and I weigh it. So the other way you can do it is if you go to the store and there's just not anything that's a great option. So this is one I picked up from the store. It's actually, this thing's huge. Look, it's about the size of my face. Yeah, it's super big. I weighed it and it was a pound at the store. So that means this is about 100 grams of carbohydrates right here. So I could either know that and just eat it, and then kind of, if I'm a macronutrient counting person, I could change that a little bit as I go throughout the day. Or what I could do is I could just say, okay, I need 2/3 of this, cook it, cut off 2/3, save a third for the other part, and do that. So that's a really great tip. That's what it is today. Basically, if you're shopping for sweet potatoes, know that there are 20 to 23 grams of carbohydrate in a sweet potato. If you want something that's about 60 to 70 grams of carbohydrates, which is a pretty ideal sweet spot, pardon the pun, for a post-workout nutrition, that's pretty simple, pretty easy standard measure, anywhere between 60 and 80, kind of depending on who you are. If it's just kind of a post-workout glycogen replenishment, grab about 2/3 of a pound of sweet potato, grab 5 or 6 of them at a time from the store and keep them in your fridge, and then you're ready to rock and roll. So that is the very first video in a series of 365 videos that are going to be coming out this year. So check us out on Facebook, Evolutionary Health. You can check out 360 Athletics on Facebook. The videos will be through there. We have a YouTube account. It is Evolve 360. Check out the website Evolutionary Health /project Evolve 360. Later. See you guys tomorrow.